At the beginning of the story, we show a forest in Southeast Asia where a Japanese man from the tribes is captured and kept tied in a hut. Their leader comes and asks, "Tell me the truth. Who are you and how did you cross our border?" But he remains silent. From his passport, they come to know that his name is Tersa. Another man sees a key he is wearing around his neck and says he looks like he is one of those people. Why don't we kill him? And then a man comes from outside and tells him that after a lot of searching there was no water anywhere. Now if we want water, we will have to go to the east coast. If the rivers there are dry, then we have no other way. People will die of thirst. Then the Japanese man sees that the key he is wearing around his neck turns towards the south. He says that look, the water is in the south direction. The leader asks, "Do you know our language also?" "Well, now tell me who you are." The Japanese says that I am called a lucky man. They do not believe him, but still, thinking what is the point in trying, they start digging in the south direction, and as Tersa said, water comes out there. Everyone celebrates after seeing the water. The leader has tears of joy in his eyes, and he says, "Brother, let us forgive me. Often robbers come here and loot our village and go away, so we doubted you too. But for the help you have given us, I will give you my life. Tell me, what do you want?" Then Tersa says, "I have to meet the leader of this village," and in the next scene he is introduced to the leader. He is also very happy with Tersa and asks, "I am ready to give you whatever you want." Tersa says that I am looking for an ancient key, and on this, the leader gives him a key kept with him and tells him that in this village we value this key a lot, but in return for what you have done for us, I am absolutely ready to give it to you, you be happy. But just like that, looking at that key, he says, "No, this is not the key I am looking for, keep it yourself. I have to return to my country immediately," and in this way he bids farewell to the villagers and leaves from there in the bullock cart. Then he sees news in the phone, in which it is written that many industrialists have died in Japan in recent times, and the surprising thing is that before their death, all of them transferred all their wealth to the account of a man named Morocco. In that photo, a man is seen standing in the background who is completely different from the rest, and seeing his appearance Tersa gets shocked. He saves a screenshot of that photo and keeps it with him. Then after landing at a place, he starts walking. Here he tells us what the secret of those keys is and why he himself is searching for those keys. It is said that there are wars in this world for 3 reasons. One is for status, the second is wealth, and the third is to display one's power in front of the world. But these 3 reasons are lies. The wars that happened before today and the wars that are going to happen after today. The reason behind all of them is 100 magical keys. If those 100 keys come into the hands of any one person, then this world will be under the feet of that person. From here now we show that Tersa is going in a train to Japan. He misses his father very much. It comes when he said that, "Son, this is the key of a demon that has many magical powers. It is said that there are 100 such keys in the world, but I don't even know how true it is, son, but when I got this key in my hands, I got my lost watch and mobile back. This is the key. It's very powerful. You keep it, son, but yes, don't tell anything about it to anyone." From here it shows a big building in Japan where a young man named Morocco. The man is shown, a businessman named Handa is sitting in front of him, and there is a key on the table from which light comes out. Morocco laughs and picks it up and says that you have lost in the competition. Now your money, your wealth, everything is mine. Anyway, you have a lot of debt, so go to yourself. Honda magically start doing what Morocco said moment. Magically Honda gives his entire account to the Morocco and he ends his life. While his last breath, he said it's demon key. And then the man coming in on the bike is watching all this. On the other hand, Morocco was going in the car. His man says that we now have $31 million. Now, why do we need to work hard to survive? This much money is enough for our family anyway, but Morocco says I need to become the most powerful family in the world, so I need more money. And, at the same time he gets a message and he says that the person who has the third key has also been found out. His name is Tersa. He has no one in this world. We have to get its keys as soon as possible. Actually, Morocco had taken the second key from Honda, but how he got the first key is still unknown for now. So for the third key, he will target Tersa. In the next scene, Tersa goes to the big company named Myanmar and goes to the recipients and says, "My name is Tersa. I want to meet Uncle Ryan." She asks him to wait, and Tersa says that initially the name of this company was Tersa Group. But unfortunately the company slips out of my father's hands. He is about to tell when Ryan comes, and Tersa hugs him, calling him uncle. This is Ryan. He also knows about those magical keys and asks what happened. Did he find anything? He says that, "Uncle, I have searched all over Asia but could not find anything anywhere. But yes, see this news in which it has been told that recently many industrialists had died, and before dying, all of them had said 3 words, demon's key. So do you think that those deaths have anything to do with those magical keys? I don't know, uncle, but we will have to find out soon." But uncle, all these industrialists, before they die, transfer all their properties to a 24-year-old young man named Morocco. We have to find out the secret of why they are dying, and yes, look at this photo. Did you recognize this man standing in the background? Oh yes, he is the one who murdered your father. the name of that murderer is Nick, and here is the flashback. It is shown that when Tersa was small, one day he told his father, I searched on the internet about the 100 keys you had mentioned, and I have found a small amount of information. His father was shocked to hear this, and they said, what have you done, son? Now the enemies will know that there is one among them. He is trying to get the keys and they will follow us. Sorry, father, I made a mistake. Then a call comes from the reception that a stranger has come to meet you. Hearing this, his father said to Tersa, son, I feel something is wrong. Hey, you go and bring Uncle Ryan. And when Tersa came into the room with Ryan, Nick was standing there pointing at his father. He was asking to give me your keys, but father did not agree, so he pointed the gun at Tersa. When father met him to save his son, he shot him. His father died on the spot. Ryan and Tersa tried to save him, but in the meantime, the bomb Nick had brought with him killed him. He throws it in the room and turns on the timer. Tersa and Ryan got scared and went out and hid, but in the next second there was a huge explosion in which, luckily, both of them were saved. But they could not even lift the dead body of his who was lying inside. Because he was cut into pieces in the blast, Tersa used to cry for many days thinking about that incident. In the present, the owner of this company comes there in a fit of rage and asks, why, Tersa, do you work in this company? If not, then what is your work here? Get out of here now. Tersa goes out quietly. After this is shown, a big meeting hall where a man named Michael is giving a presentation. He says that with the help of AI, I have created a software. It can do all your work like a virtual assistant, but to make it on a large scale, I need sponsors. Are any of you ready to sponsor this project? No one is interested in sponsoring him. Then Michael returns to his office sadly. There the story's heroine, whose name is Misha, works with him. Actually, these two are Tersa's school friends. The software they created together is named Roki. Misha asks, why are you upset? Was no sponsor found? Does Michael say that everyone clapped after seeing the presentation, but when it came to the sponsor, everyone's mouth was glued? No one is ready to invest money in it. Then Misha says that Tersa has come back to Japan. He works in a chocolate factory nearby. Let's meet him. Actually, Tersa had posted a post on social media, and through that, Misha came to know about this. On the other hand, they show the chocolate factory where Tersa is working. The owner of the company says, I was a security guard in your father's company, but with his help I started a small business, and today I am the owner of this company, and I feel very bad that I have to give you this work because there is no vacancy for any other work. Do one work here, you work here for 2 or 3 months, and then I will get you a good post. No problem, uncle. I want this work. You are looking very nice, anyway, don't worry. From here in the next scene, Tersa goes to meet his friend. Seeing him, Misha says, wow, you are looking absolutely handsome. He also says, oh, handsome, till tomorrow. So I had kept my beard. I have come into shape with great difficulty. Anyway, both of you tell me how you are. Misha says Michael is a software engineer, and I am his junior, and then Michael asks, Tersa, are you your father? I don't know whether he is going to buy the company back. Maybe his time has not yet come. And then Michael gets a call from the office that he has to give another presentation. Come to the office quickly. Michael and Misha leave. Tersa returns to his home at night, who is less at home. And it seems more like storage room, but this is his house where he has collected a lot of information about the magical keys. On the other hand, Misha tells Michael, listen, you remember how brilliant a student Tersa was in school, but now look. Dude in a chocolate factory. How is he working? I am really feeling very bad for him. If you don't mind, then give him work in this office too. Michael says, okay, if you say so, then okay, I have no problem with it, Misha. She happily leaves the office. On the other hand, Ryan tells Tersa that, listen, I investigated Morocco, and I came to know that his father was a very rich man, but he lost all his money in gambling, but now I heard that it is said that the Moroccan family is somehow raising too much money, and when the police asked the Moroccan that before his death, Handa had taken a loan from my father, and in return for that, he transferred his property to me. He was saying this. Just then, Misha comes there. Tersa gives Misha's intro to Ryan. But meanwhile Morocco and his men break the door and enter inside. He says, I know Tersa has a magical key. I want that key. Nothing else but Ryan says key. He doesn't have any such key. Do you think I am a fool? Saying that he shows him Tersa's post in which Tersa had put a photo of herself and unknowingly, he has put that key around his neck, which Morocco came to know only after seeing it. Tersa asks him why you have killed Honda. Oh, you have researched very well about me. Look for this key. I have taken his life, and now I will take your life if you cannot give me the keys. Then he inserts a key in the table, and then, due to that, a tornado appears, and from that, a 20-foot demon appears. Who says I am the master of the acma game and the competition is going to happen between both of you? I will decide the result. Tersa and Ryan don't understand anything. Misha says this is not real, it is fake, and she does not remain silent and says, oh, this is VFX. Saying this, she goes to touch the demon. So he shouts, shut up. If I hit you with one blow, you will stick to the wall. Understood? And when Misha understands that this is not a VFX, it is actually a demon, then she falls unconscious. Tersa tries to call the doctor, but there is no signal on the mobile, he can't even go out. Morocco tells me that when I put my key on the table, this place came under my control, and now no one can leave from here without completing this game. Demon says, this is a game of true or false. If I say that Morocco had breakfast this morning, then you have to guess whether it is true or false. And if your answer is wrong, then Morocco will get 1 point. At the end of the game, the one who has more points will get 1 point. Tersa has no other option except playing this game, so he agrees, and Morocco tells him to listen carefully. If I win this game, then the key you have will automatically come to me. If it were my way, I would have taken a lot of money from you, but I know that you have very little money, so just giving me 10 yen is enough. Now Tersa tells Demon that if I lose, then my key will be given to Morocco. But if I win, I will not get anything. Listen, if I win, Morocco will have to tell me the secret of the keys in detail, and my second condition on winning is that only I will decide when Morocco will die first. So Demon gets worried but then he agrees, but now Morocco gets scared that what stupid thing have I done? I should have also asked for Tersa's life, but what did I ask for? Just 10 yen. Spit on me to die. In this way he curses himself, but he is confident that he will win, so he says in front of Demon that if I lose, then you take my life on this very spot. The first question Tersa asks, he spreads a napkin on the table and asks him. He places a coin of 500 yen on top, then places a teacup on it, pulls the handkerchief, and asks whether there is still a coin of 500 yen under the teacup or not. Tell me whether this is true or false. Morocco laughs and says, you have taken me for a fool. Have I seen that coin had left with the handkerchief? Still I don't want to answer hastily because maybe you are trying to trap me by saying that he checks the table on Tersa's side, then on the other side of the table, and just below the table, there is a coin. Morocco takes out that coin and puts it in his pocket, but still he suspects that Tersa might have hidden some coins in the drawer. He tries to open the drawer. He does so, but Tersa does not allow him to open it by placing his hand on top, meaning the coin must be under the cup, and thinking this, he says, Demon, Tersa asked whether the coin is under the cup or not, and then my answer is that it is correct, and Tersa looks at it. When he smiles, Morocco gets nervous. Demon says that your answer is wrong. When Morocco opens the drawer in tension, there is no coin in it. This was Tersa's trick, due to which Morocco lost in this round and Tersa got a point. Here in the flashback, it is shown that when Tersa's father was murdered, Tersa was young, and he could not run his father's company. Then a senior man of the company, whose name was Mayan Maki, told Tersa, Sunk, the company is in trouble, and we have to pay money to the investors. If you make even a small mistake in running the company will go out of your hands, so you sign this document so that I will manage the company for a few years. When you grow up, I will then hand over this company to you. I will name it. Tersa had signed it by trusting him, but he not only expelled Tersa from the company but also from his house. After that, Ryan supported him and sent him to India to study. Tersa cried a lot. Papa had worked so hard to establish this company, I lost everything in a moment. But Ryan encouraged him, saying, son, what is money? It can be earned any time. Just focus on your studies, everything will be fine. Tersa completed his studies in India, and after that, he traveled around the world in search of 100 magical keys, and this is what we saw in the beginning of the story. And now in the present, the next round starts in which the Morocco will ask questions, and he says that there are 2 keys nearby, and when someone has 2 keys, he gets a special power. Saying this, he shows his hands on which a strange symbol is formed, and then all the things in the room start freezing like ice, he tells. The name of this power is Aerial Seal. After some time, the place will completely freeze, and if you want to save your life, then you will have to answer as soon as possible. So here is your next question. There are 4 big shops at a distance of 1 kilometer around this building. Is it right or wrong? Tell. Tersa closes his eyes and thinks, and he remembers that there are at least 7 big shops around this building. So his statement is correct, but he is a smart guy. Surely there is some trick in the question, but he could not think for long because the cold was increasing very fast. Tersa says that yes, your statement is correct because within a distance of 1 kilometer around this building there is 7 big shops. Morocco laughs at this, and Demon says your answer is wrong, and here Tersa doesn't understand anything. But in the meantime, Morocco gets a point, and then Michael calls Misha, but when she doesn't pick up the phone, so he decides to go to Tersa's home because Misha had said that she was going to Tersa's house. Here again it is Tersa's turn to question. He again spreads a handkerchief and says that there is a bomb under this handkerchief. Is this a correct statement or not? Morocco starts laughing again. He suspects that this time also Tersa is playing some trick. He checks the drawer again, but there is no bomb in it. The floor is also made of concrete, so there cannot be a bomb inside it. But Tersa knows that there is a bomb under this house, but it is not active. Actually, during his research, Tersa had read that it is recorded in the National Registry that at this location where this building is, there is an active bomb under it. Tersa is thinking all these things, then Morocco tells that there is no bomb here. That means your statement is wrong. Just so Tersa becomes happy that now he is going to get the second point, but Demon says that Morocco's answer is true. That is, Tersa's statement is wrong. Tersa tells Demon that this is a trick. There are many active bombs buried under this building, but Demon says there may have been earlier, but at the moment there is no bomb here. In this way, Morocco gets another point. And now it is Morocco's turn. Again, it says that if you take this building in the center, then around it 1,300 people live within a distance of 3 kilometers. This is my statement. Is it right or wrong? Tersa then closes his eyes and thinks that according to him this statement seems correct. But last time when Tersa was sure about his answer, he was proved wrong. Thinking that this time too, there is some trick in Morocco's question, he thinks for a while, and then his eyes fall on his laptop, which is running absolutely normally. Tersa thinks that if Morocco's magical power is really freezing everything in this room, how is the laptop working? Don't mean that freezing this room is not a superpower of Morocco, but its superpower seems to be something else. Meanwhile, Ryan is unable to bear the cold and starts fainting. To save him, Tersa starts burning the papers, currency notes, etc., lying there in the dustbin. Only then does Ryan's condition get better. Now Tersa understands the tricks of Moroccan. He says that all the questions you asked in the beginning were asked around this building, and when you said that you were using your power, then you could see the difference in the light coming from the window, which means you used your power. This place has not been frozen, but with the power of that power, you have lifted this room and brought it somewhere else, meaning at this time this house could be on the peak of the Himalayas, due to which ice is freezing, so it makes sense that there will definitely be no one around it at a distance of 3 kilometers, that is, your statement itself is wrong. Demon also agrees that Tersa's answer is absolutely correct, and now both of them have reached 2 points, only then the camera zooms out. It turns out that Tersa had done the guess exactly right. In fact, that house is on a snow-covered mountain. Now Demon laughs. Why do you feel like a fool? Your work will be done only after completing it. This increases the fear of Morocco. Tersa says that there is still time. If life is dear, then let's end this game here. Being too greedy becomes harmful for health. Understand? But Demon says no, this game will not end until someone wins. Now Tersa says his statement that there is 1,000 yen in this room, is it true or false? Morocco gets a bit confused, but then he remembers that in the previous round he had taken out 500 yen from under the table and kept it in his pocket, and when to reduce the cold of the room, Tersa burns currency notes. There was a 500 rupee coin in it too. When Morocco checks it, a 500 coin comes out from inside it, and now when Morocco believes it, he says, the statement is correct that there are 1,000 yen in this room. But Demon says that your answer is wrong, guys. Morocco sees his death here, and he asks, how can it be wrong then? Tersa tells him to listen to those 2 500 coins, only one coin is real, and the other one is a tracking device, which my father gave me for my safety, and when he crushes it under his feet, he realizes that it is really a tracking device. Demon says, Tersa, you have one, now you can get the information you need from Morocco, and then I will take his life and leave from here. But Teresa says, Mr. Demon, perhaps you do not remember that I said in the beginning that if I won, then only I will decide when Morocco will die. You had also agreed to this. On this, Demon disappears from there. Meanwhile, Michael comes to Tersa's house searching for Misha, but only Tersa's room is missing in the house. Michael gets shocked in the room, then suddenly his room comes there, seeing which he gets shocked again that what has happened, there Misha is lying unconscious and Morocco thanks Tersa for saving his life. Teresa says, is that okay? Reduce your greed from now on. Do you understand? How did you get that magical key? He says I will tell to you, but please don't laugh. One day, that key fell on my head from the sky. What nonsense are you saying? This is not nonsense. After my father's death, I used to do small gambling, but every time I used to lose, and one day it happened that the key fell from above and fell into my hands. From that moment my life got completely better. I started winning every time. I got a lot of money in this way. Then I got a call from a man named Nick. He told me that there are 99 more keys like the magical key I have, and if I get those keys then this world will be mine. While he is telling this, at that very moment, Morocco gets a call from Nick. He turns on the speaker. Nick says, Why do I feel like you have one? He says, you are my father's murderer and the day if get hold of you, I will not spare your life. Nick says, keep quiet, we will see you later, but listen to one thing, you must be aware of those 100 magical keys. Just as Morocco had gotten those keys, in the same way, I like them. I am going to give some more magical keys to some more people. You will not even know who is going to attack you and snatch your keys, and if you survive then come back and kill me. Then it is shown in the background of Nick. It is said that he has collected more than 30 keys. Here Morocco suddenly starts muttering that he has to return the loan. Saying this, he goes into the sunlight and suddenly disappears, but before leaving, he gives his magical key to Tersa. This was the end, and now they don't understand that when Tersa had saved Morocco from the demon, where did he suddenly disappear? Morocco's men say that they will soon find out their boss. Saying this, they also leave, but Tersa understands. It is said that Nick definitely knows a lot about those keys, so he probably did something to the fool with the power of one of his keys and also disconnected the call. On the other hand, Misha tells Michael, I have seen such a big ghost. Do you know? No? Michael says, are gone mad? Misha says, no, really, I saw such a big ghost. Michael also says, listen, when I came here, Tersa's room was like this. Later, he also came back. Misha says, see, this is what I was saying. Here, Tersa and Misha suspect Demon that he is the one who left with Marco, but Tersa says that whatever happened here, don't tell anyone about it, otherwise, both of you will die. Life will be in danger. This is a fight between me and Nick. You guys don't read into it. Michael says if anything can be done with the power of those keys, then why don't you take back your father's company? Tersa says my papa had built that company with honesty, so I do not want to take any shortcut to make it back. Only in the right way will I definitely take back my father's company from that Miyamaki. And on this, Misha and Michael leave from there saying that now we will not interfere in the matter. On the other hand, we show an illegal boxing match in which a boxer named Mark wins very easily. After the match, when he removes his gloves and bandage, there is a magical key inside, which means with the power of this, he wins every match. From here we show Mayan Maki, who had cleverly gotten Tersa's father's company in his name. A magical key falls in his room, and when he is in the car, Nick calls him and says, listen, with the power of the key you have got, you can achieve anything, and my junior will help you in this. Suddenly his call gets cut and the car stops when he comes out. Nick has sent it there. His junior is standing, whose name is Eric. On the other hand, boxer Mark celebrate his victory by drinking. Meanwhile, a man named Thomas comes there, and this is the one who came in the bullet bike, and he is the same guy who saw Honda dying from the building at the beginning of the story. He starts to serve alcohol to Mark, and then Mark asks, are you my fan? Then he says yes. Before, you used to lose every match, and then for a while, you were winning every match. Do this is happening because of the key around your neck. On which Mark, say maybe. Then Thomas says you can win the match. Then imagine what you can do if you get 100 such keys. Mark is shocked and asks if there are really more such keys. He says, yes, I am. I know a man who has another such key. Actually, he is talking about Tersa. On the other hand, Tersa and Ryan get the 3 keys found by them tested in the lab, and it is found that they contain some letters from ancient times, which they don't understand. Meanwhile, Misha calls Tersa and says, do you remember in school, Michael and I had buried a box together at a place, and we had promised each other that after 10 years we would take out that box and see. 10 years have passed. Come on, Michael and I go and take it out and see. But Tersa says, look, I have a lot of work, I can't come. Actually, Misha likes Tersa very much and directly likes her. She is unable to say so she keeps looking for some excuse to go to him. Then she calls Michael and says the same thing. Then he also says that first of all, I am not getting investors and you are still out of school. It didn't come out. Tell me you do one thing, go alone and open that box and see. I am very sad. She disconnects the call, even though Tersa had said no to Misha. But still he feels like seeing his old school. And on a holiday, he is standing outside the school looking at her. Meanwhile, Misha also comes there and is very happy that you were doing a big drama on the phone, okay? You wanted to surprise me, didn't you? Tersa say. No, I was just passing by here. Hey, now we have come, so let's go inside and take out the box. This girl will not agree. Thinking this, he also starts digging at that place. Then he takes out the box and opens it. And see, Thomas is watching all this. On the other hand, Michael remembers the school days when some bullies used to bully him and snatch money from him, but Tersa used to save Michael. At that time, Michael was still seen in the class of rich boys, because he thought that all of them were very bad. And that is why he never talked to Tersa openly. When shown in the present, Teresa and Misha take out a videocassette from the box, which they kept for 10 years. First it was recorded, then after stealing the school projector, they tried to play the cassette in it, but there was a wire missing. Misha says, I will find the wire and bring it back, so she goes out, and then Mark catches her and threatens that he wants your magical key. Now Tersa also asks, are you Nick's man? He says, I don't even know who Nick is, you just give me the key. Tersa also takes out his key and keeps it down, but there is no time. But while searching for them, Michael reaches there and attacks Mark from behind, and then there is a dangerous fight between them. Then to save his friend, Tersa puts his magical key on the ground, and then Demon comes to his senses. He gets shocked and shouts, "Where did such a big buffalo come from?" Demon also gets angry and says, "Shut up, I look like a buffalo to you. Am I the master of acma game? Understand. Tersa, you are also ready, right? The building has come under my control, no one can leave or come from here until the game ends." Then Mark threatens Demon that I will cut your head with this knife. "Oh, you are going to cut my head with this broken knife, really?" Then Demon chews that knife. "Tell me, this is a very old knife, absolutely tasteless." Then he asks Tersa, "What do you want if you win?" He says, "As usual, the loser will tell me all the secrets of the keys, and his life will be spared when I want." But Misha stands aside and looks at Demon in fear. Demon goes to her and says that it was you who was touching me last time and looking at me. Now come touch me and see whether I am VFX or not. I will cut you into 2 pieces and bury you in the ground. I understand, stand quietly there. And yes, do not faint. Then he asks Mark, "What do you want if you win?" He says, "Listen, if I win, then Tersa, Misha, and Michael all 3 will have to die." Demon also agrees, and now Demon explains the game, which is a very simple role-playing game whose name is Shadowrun. You have to step not on the head of your enemy but on the head of his shadow, which is most often in front of your opponent. Whoever steps on Shadow's head will win. The game is very simple, but the location of the game keeps changing. Then Demon freezes everyone except Tersa and tells Tersa, "Don't be afraid. I have frozen everyone, nothing will happen, actually. You have 3 keys, so because of this you will get an advantage in this game. You will be able to freeze any place or anything for exactly 1 minute, and this power of yours will be useful in winning this game. It is my duty to tell this, so I told it." Then he unfreezes everyone. Now the game starts, only the location of Tira's and Mark changes, and they are in the field, trying to step on each other's shadow head. They are trying very hard, but after seeing a tattoo on Mark's hand, Michael starts thinking that he has seen this tattoo somewhere. He asks his mobile app, Yaruchi, to scan this man and find out who he is, but Ruchi says, "There is no network here at all. Where do I find out?" Then Michael and Misha go to the school library and start looking at old newspapers, and they come to know that a few years ago Mark used to be a famous boxer but was involved in a cheating case. Due to being trapped, he was removed from the boxing tournament forever. He had also taken a lot of loan due to which he was living somewhere in hiding, but for the last few months, he has been winning in all the illegal boxing matches that have been taking place. When they come to know about all this information, they get scared that he is a famous boxer. How will Tersa be able to win from him? On the ground, Tersa and Mark try their best to step on each other's shadow. Mark comes to punch him, so Tersa puts his hands forward to protect himself, but then it turns out that Mark does not punch him but puts his foot on his head in the shadow, due to which Mark gets a point in the next round. They seize themselves inside a building. Then Michael and Misha tell Tersa that Mark has been a famous boxer. It will be very difficult for you to win against him, and if you lose, will all 3 of us really die? Tersa says yes. That's why. I had told you to stay away from me and you 2 are just sticking to me. On the other hand, Thomas meets Mark and says that somehow you have taken the first point but you need the remaining points, so you will need my help. In this way, they have a different plan going on. Here Tersa tells Michael that, "Do you remember in school we used to do a trick with the curtain?" He says, "Yes, I remember, but what will happen with that?" Tersa says that's the only thing we are going to use. But just then Mark comes there. All 3 of them separate and start running away. But Michael gets hold of Mark, and he cries, "Please leave me," Mark says, saying, "Tersa, come out, or else your friend will lose his life." He moves ahead, then he sees a shadow head there, and he believes that it is Tersa's head. He runs away and steps on it. It seems that he has one, but when he turns and looks inside the room, he realizes that it is not Tersa's head but Tersa and Misha's, and forms a head using mope and bucket. And then Tersa came in through the window and placed his foot on Mark's head in the shadow of the mark. The second round too, Tersa had won. Now the third round takes place in a dark room where only one place is visible. Light comes on, Mark starts chasing Tersa, but Tersa hides at a place and creates a trap with the help of his friends. He sets a curtain by pulling a lever and uses his freezing power to make such an arrangement that after a minute the curtain falls, and then deliberately he makes Mark run here and there for a minute, and at the last moment he brings Mark on the stage. But even after a minute the curtain does not fall. Now Tersa is confused. What happens is that the curtain has not fallen yet, and then it is shown above that in reality Thomas is holding the curtain rope. Mark, taking the opportunity, starts hitting Tersa hard, but Michael and Misha come in between and catch him, and then Tersa wins another point by placing his foot on the head of his shadow. In this way, Tersa wins the game by taking an extra point in the third round. Then the demon comes there. Tersa says that you had promised that you would kill Mark. He will die only when I want. Demon says yes, then when did I refuse? Now Tersa says, but I have to ask you, where did the Morocco that was defeated by me suddenly disappear? Did you take it with me? Did not go. Demon says, not at all. I am the master of the acma game. I never do such cheating. I always keep what I promise. But Tersa says, I still doubt you because in the beginning of the competition I had said that when I would like to take Morocco's life. But Morocco told you that if he lost, you could take his life at any time, so did you take his life? Demon says, forgive me, but I can't answer that question. Tersa says, okay, but for now the game is over, so you can go. Demon also disappears, and then Tersa asks Mark, how did you get this key? He says it fell from the sky. Tersa again gets surprised that he is saying the same thing that Morocco had said, and then says how do you came to know that I had a key? Who sent you to me? On this, he says his name is Thomas. Then Tersa takes his key and says, remember, now your life is in my hands. If you trouble me in the future, I will have to take your life. Remember me. Mark also goes away saying thank you. After this, Michael also openly talks with Tersa. He talks, then they play that video cassette and are enjoying it by remembering their school days. Then Thomas comes there and says that you may have defeated Mark, but you have not defeated me. Well, it is only you who will be able to defeat Thomas. He says yes, and because of the many keys around my neck, you will know how powerful I am. There are 6 magical keys hanging on his necklace. He asks, so let's start the game. Fear is clearly visible in Tersa's eyes. With this the part 1 of the acma games series end here. For part 2 make sure to like the video and subscribe the channel. And if this video gets 10 likes I will upload the second part of this series. Thank you for watching.